Hello, my friends. Jacobs here one more time. I'm happy that you joined me. You press play. I didn't plan on coming and talking to you today. In fact, today I was planning on going out to that beach that I went to last time. I was so excited. I'm like, yeah, let's go to Fire Island, Dan, because I was going to take the day off and just try to relax now that I can actually get in my car and drive now with my knee. So I wanted to do that. But of course, there were another person got bit by a shark. So Danielle was like, probably not. We decided to have, Grandma Marie over the house. So, I had we had some salmon that we got from Costco, or BJ's. And we had a lot of it because, you don't spend a lot of money if you buy a lot of it. So I'm like, let me make some salmon. And as I'm making it, and then Grandma Marie comes over and we're all sitting down. I'm like, oh, well, I guess I'll just kind of look at my phone then and figure out if I have something to talk about today. And voila, like the Lord himself just offered me an amazing show on a platter. I see this video about this guy over at the House Oversight Committee. And, he's one of the whistleblowers, the Pentagon whistleblowers He's made claims about aliens and technology and everything else, reverse engineering of stuff, people getting hurt trying to reverse engineer. They have whistleblowers saying that there's this technology, it defies physics. The alien invasion, I told you it was coming. I've been saying the alien invasion was on deck for a long time. It looks like here it is. Well, why wouldn't it be? So, the part that really got me was what he said to everybody when he was being questioned. He said at some point, he couldn't answer the question because, the lady asked, a very nice lady, she says, oh, is our government in touch with aliens? And he's like, I cannot say this publicly. So it's not much of a, whistleblower here. He's not really blowing a whistle on everything, but he's creating the intrigue. But they do have, I guess, vehicles. We know this already. And now they're saying, yeah, we have biologics too. We got bodies too. Listen.
Do you believe our government has made contact with intelligent extraterrestrials?
Something I can't discuss in public setting.
Okay, I can't ask when you think this occurred. If you believe we have crashed craft, stated earlier, do we have the bodies of the pilots who piloted this craft?
As I've stated publicly already in my News Nation interview, biologics came with some of these recoveries, yeah.
Were they, I guess, human or non-human biologics?
Non-human, and that was the assessment of people with direct knowledge on the program I talked to that are currently still on the program.
Red alert! Red alert! The aliens are coming! The aliens are coming! Red alert! That'll get you all freaked out, You people are today, but you know what? We've been so conditioned and so lulled into sleep, it's kind of like, okay, who cares? Move along! What's next? Oh, I got what's next for you. If not the alien invasion, if not like the last show that I did with the demons that are released on the world and the people that are on planes that are getting possessed and acting crazy and people are saying that they're shapeshifters among us, if not for the fact that all of that's happening, maybe this would create more of a stir. You expect a reaction kind of like Mitch McConnell today. I don't know what happened with him. He was given a press conference and he just stopped talking and just didn't move for like a long time. Take a look.
Okay, Mitch. Anything else you want to say, or should we just go back to do you want to say anything else to the press?
Pay attention to the woman in green. Now, this may mean nothing. Willing Witness pointed this out, but when she taps Mitch, when he says a string, he stops talking. A string, by the way, is a thread. A thread has to do with that parasitic virus and mind control. Is he being controlled? Is he being told what to do? Is this a psyop to make it look like he, too, is under the spell? Well, the spell that could be cast through emojis. I just did a show about that. And now there's a judge that says it's a legal contract if you use a thumbs up emoji. And I think if emojis are demons and the thumbs up is a legal contract, well, does that mean you just made a deal with the devil? I don't know. Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. But this whole thing with Mitch McConnell, it just seems sus to me. I don't like to talk about people's appearances, but Mitch McConnell, he really does look like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. which is coming, by the way, because of course, you know, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, there's a movie coming out actually soon with Ice Cube and everything else. They're all good. The Mutant Ninja Turtles and the next thing. Of course, the Mutant Ninja Turtles were spying on Barbie in the commercial, and because they're all part of this, Barbenheimer, right? Nuclear waste, fallout. Then you got the Turtles and Mitch McConnell. He's just lost it. Or maybe he had a stroke, poor guy, but he does kind of look like a turtle. He does kind of look like a turtle. Even if he's a terrible, monstrous dude who's done horrible things and sold out the American people, we still don't like to see people having a problem. But it seems like today, that's all that they want you to think. They want you to think that everybody's going to start falling over all the time, right? Now it's the big thing. What just happened with Bronny, right? Ethan's a big basketball player. You know, people were upset. They're upset about him having this terrible cardiac arrest. And of course, Elon brought a lot of attention to it. He brought a lot of attention to it, and a lot of people had a little problem. You know, today, Sinead O'Connor died. Sinead O'Connor, 56 years, I'm 52. Sinead O'Connor's kind of a big name, and she's just passed away too. Big thing going on. Nothing compares to you. What a great song. Remember her ripping up the picture of the Pope? Elon pointed that out as well. He's like, what's happening here? Which, of course, puts a psychic burden on a lot of people because everything's Psyops, right? He shares the Psyop, another Psyop, another Psyop. It's all about, you know, just flooding us with a bunch of information to get us to just, I don't know, just become totally possessed by these worms that are weaseling their way into our hearts and our belief system and keeping us paranoid. And just protect us from the scary aliens, please, I'll do whatever you want. Some people are even saying that this aide that took center stage at the big tech censorship conference when they were talking about Biden's laptop was possibly an alien, that she was acting like she was an alien, that she was mouthing the words that the congresswoman was speaking and looked like she was in control. Almost as weird as this minister in England who had a dummy, a literal ventriloquist dummy, mouthing the words of his speech. What are they trying to tell us? Are aliens taking over? Are they walking among us? Is there something that is dark, that is in control, behind the scenes, manipulating us all? I just have to calm down. The puppets on Sesame Street are honoring the X app as well, since that it's now Deus Ex, because there's two X's, Deus Ex, the game that has to do with genetic takeover of the human race. And, well, the guy that lost the logo, his name was Gene, so I find that interesting that Gene lost his X to Elon. But the company that came up with the logo originally, Colin, has those 3 ones, just like the 3 ones that we're seeing in the banking system. Now that Sam Bankman-Fried is released from any kind of charges and the X app is now becoming the dark mode, it just seems like there's a lot of weird stuff going on. Everything's X today. Everything's X. Well, the X guy, the X-Man himself, Professor X, he was not against the old wackadoo. He actually said he believed in it, and he didn't think that, he thought the science, I think he said the science was determined or something. His tweet was actually even more interesting than that. And I was a little bit disappointed I was a lot disappointed because I was like, really? Because I knew, I had a feeling. Told everybody I had a feeling because of that terrible dream that I had. Me and the family, we were in like this hotel. Danielle was like a waitress because she had to make money. And some like, Chinese scientist lady gave me a camera to eat. Give me a camera to eat. How weird is that, right? And I took a bite, and then I heard someone say something in the dream. I know this sounds a little goofy. I know it's a dream, but it's still weird, right? Especially with what's going on. And in the dream, I hear, it's nanotechnology tracking device. So in the dream, I say, well, look, I'm kind of like in this niche world on YouTube, right? I don't really trust, I don't really trust everything. And so I really don't want to be tracked. So I kind of took that data, took that thing. I took the stuff that the scientist had. And you know what she did? There's a big red button. She went like this. Boom! She screamed non-compliant. But, what do we know? Now the truth is being revealed about all of these people. Coming out, just like I said it would come out. So now the big thing is you got a lot of people that are actually starting to get paranoid, like literally in my family, people that, friends of mine, they're worried now that they're going to just have some kind of a terrible heart attack. And I tried to explain to my wife how this stuff works, because our minds are very powerful. So, they don't really need to kill you to have you die. You can just think to yourself that you're going to die, and that stress then basically creates it, because whatever a person believes they receive. The power of life and death is in our tongue. If you start thinking because you did something that you're in trouble and that's it, guess what that's going to do? Well, that puts a lot of psychic weight on you, which is going to weigh on you and give you stress. So I want you all to relax and stop stressing about this stuff. We got aliens to worry about now, right? So don't be stressed, because I'm telling you, more and more of these stories are coming out, and I'm not saying that the stories aren't true. I'm not saying that people aren't passing away from this or having terrible incidents of I'm not saying that it's not true, but I am saying stop worrying about it. Stop worrying. Put your hands in God. What's done is done, right? The devil spelled backwards is lived, people. And I'm telling you, I think that they're gonna really put the gas down. They're gonna try to get everybody thinking that everybody's possessed by secret aliens that are invading and that everybody's dying. And I'll tell you one thing we should really be worried about is Richard Simmons no longer has a headband. Okay? Yeah, you want to talk about Mitch McConnell looking weird? I looked weird after I saw that. Somebody sent it to me, or there was a comment or something in the live chat from last night, and they're like, Richard Simmons doesn't have a headband. I don't know who it was very quick, but I looked it up and he doesn't. He doesn't. New Mandela effect, right? Woo-hoo. Weird times. Of course, all the costumes he has, the headband. Of course, I was raised on Richard Simmons, so the headband was over there, but it's gone. Mandela effect, as they say. These things happen. It's no big deal. Hey, I'm in a movie that's coming out, I think in 2024. I don't know if it's going to be a big one or a small one. I don't even know. They contacted me. They say, would you do it? They're really nice people. He has a history of success from alien autopsy and other things. But that's the movie right there. Check it out when it comes out. I guess I'll tell you about it. But Richard Simmons, a new one, right? What's happening? Reality. In reality, these wizards, these magicians that are behind the scene, pulling the strings, trying to get everybody freaked out. Well, listen, I'm a little concerned about something else. Anthony's been a big fan of the channel for a long time. He just sends me emails, sends me a lot of emails. I get a lot of emails from a lot of people. And he's always a sweet man who sends this to me. But he sent me this thing about this comet. It must have been 4 times. And I kept this is not what I'm feeling right now. The comet's not what I'm feeling right now. So I just say thanks. I say thanks and, I'll take a look at it or whatever. And I just I put it to the back burner until I know God really is revealing something. And then today he sends me another email. So as I'm taking a break, I wanted to take the day off, but because of, events and the shark attack, I ended up finding out about the alien, which led me to all the other things. I'm sitting up here trying to put the show together, and I stumble upon Anthony's email because I check the emails when you send them to me. If you want to contact me, best place to get me if you really want to get, obviously Patreon. I thank everybody there. So you're always guaranteed a response from me. The links are in the description. You get $1 to whatever. So important. And I'm so grateful. You could also, of course, email me, and I could get back to you that way, or through Twitter or whatever. But you got to give me time, and I get so many that it's hard. But Anthony is somebody that I've known for a long time. So when it came out, I took a look at it, and it was really wild because it's about a comet that's going to be coming, and it's going to be very close to the Earth. 144 million miles from the Earth. That number alone gets me to, think, wow, that's cool. On the day of the second American eclipse, the great American eclipse that makes the X, right? We're talking about the X app. So I say to myself, that comet's something interesting. Any comet that's attached to that second eclipse has my attention, because I don't know if you know this or not. I don't know how long you've been on the channel. And by the way, if you're new, will you please hit the subscribe button? It's so important. And then hit that bell for notifications so you can keep up and just check. I do a video almost every day, every other day at least. Don't wait to be reminded. Just come back and see what's on the plate. What's that Jacob's well? and then come and have a drink, and then make sure you leave with Christ. My channel that's been around since the beginning, I think it's 2008. I've been doing this. I've been sharing. It went viral because of a dream that I had about this, about planet Nibiru and the system and the stuff that's coming in. And, you know, for whatever reason, that's what basically launched my channel. I had one viral video that really just reached millions of people. It made the newspaper. It freaked me out so much I deleted it. And then what happened was the very next video that I did when I was like, I'm not going to be scared about this anymore, Lord. And I started talking about how they're going to be talking about aliens. Aliens going to be the next thing. And I said, there's going to be a bunch of comets and a bunch of things bouncing around. It's going to be spooky. Last night I have a terrible dream where I'm at the emergency room, a building much like this, which is really disturbing. And we're there for Ethan. And in the dream, basically, like, you know, I really start seeing meteors flying. And man, and it was like almost like it looked like scary times were coming because of this. I don't know. I know it's as crazy as it sounds, you know. I mean, like Jonah, you know, when he didn't want to share, he didn't want to say, you know, oh, hey, I'm going to talk about aliens now. I don't even believe in aliens. I'm supposed to tell you about that. So long story short, I had this terrible dream. Told everybody that was going to probably happen around 2024, which was the the end of that X, that arc. So the fact that there's this comet that they're saying there's a chance it could explode on that day because this is an exploding comet, right? Which they're calling, by the way, the Star Wars comet, the Millennial Falcon comet, right? Because it exploded or something, and now it's traveling like 5 times faster or something, and now it looks like the Millennial Falcon. And so I think to myself, oh my goodness, because this is the way my mind works. Isn't there like an Egyptian god that looks like a falcon? So I type it in, and of course it's Horus. So I put this tweet out there, right there, this tweet right there. I put this out on Twitter. I'm sorry, I put this Zeet out there on Zitter, on the X app. And Horus is known to be a falcon. So they're calling it the Millennial Falcon, right? So a millennial is 1,000 years. So I'm thinking, okay, you know, you got the millennial reign of Christ, you got the millennial return. So people are waiting for, they always ask, what's the X? Is it Osiris? Is it this? It's Osiris, it's Christ, it's so many other things. It's also Degeneration X, if you watched WWE back in the day when I was there. Not my idea, by the way. But this giant comet the size of Halley's Comet, now displaying this horseshoe-type shape, is it's due to possibly, and it could possibly explode again, closest to the Earth than it's ever been. On the night of the eclipse, you want to talk about something that you should concern yourself about, don't let it be that. Because there's nothing we can do about any of that stuff. But I can say that that could be a reason why the world is getting more and more tight-knit and want to really control us, because if they think something's coming, maybe this is the way they handle it. I don't know. But I do know, I find it strange that the fact that they're naming it the Millennial Falcon, millennial is 1,000 years. And 1,000, of course, my idea is like, hey, I bet you it's the number or the letter X. And guess what? In Greek, it's the letter X. So the X everywhere, right? At the X on the eclipse, you got the 1,000-year comet, the Millennial Comet coming in to a theater near you. That's the way things are today. Wow. Okay, well, listen, I'm going to go. I usually go on and on and on. I could talk to you about so many things, but I want to try to save for the next show because I'm getting tired and everything hurts. Everything hurts. I need a day at the beach is what I need. I just don't need to get bit by the sharks. The sharks. Sounding like I'm from Long Island right now. All right, listen, I love each and every one of you. Will you do me a favor? Will you subscribe to the channel? Will you support if you can? Get yourself a copy of The Calling, best novel ever written, in my opinion, because I wrote it. It's a work of genius. It was inspired by the Lord. I wrote it probably through the darkest time of my life, and I got to tell you something. The days that we're in here, in kind of a prophecy, in kind of a dream. As always, I'm going to play the trailer at the end, so you can check that out. If you want to get any of the merch, there's links in the description of the video below. Everything that you do can help. Liking this video is really helpful. I like to tell people, if you've been watching me for a long time and just like me, like we become friends, right? Because we're all friends. And when you come in, it's like, that's what I do. If I see my friends that are, people that have been kind to me on YouTube before I even watch their, I give it a like. I give it a like because I like the effort they're putting in. That helps because the sooner you put the like and the more you get, the powers that be at YouTube, well, then they tell other people. Sharing it is really good, but it's even better if you say, you have to watch this, or wow, this is amazing. Stuff like that. If you really felt that way, if you just want to share it, to just share it and help, that's a great way to do it. Leaving a comment helps. All of these things help. I say this to you because I think we're coming to a day where we're going to need to reach a lot more people. And I am close, by the way, to 200,000. I think I'm like at 300. I think I have like 350 more to go. Somebody's been emailing me and saying, oh, you're so close, and then, oh, you just lost another 100, and they're saying they think that there's something sus. I don't know what they're looking at, maybe something behind the scenes, but I'm about 350 away from 200,000. Not that it's a huge goal on YouTube, I get it, and we're going to do something cool over on Patreon if that happens, which I'll release later. But if you're new, and you're just one of the people that don't like to subscribe, I ask that you do subscribe because it'll be helpful and it would be kind of a cool achievement to hit before this comet hits us. Not saying it's going to hit us, God forbid. I'm going to be in prayer about it though, and I'll tell you what I think. All right, I love you all. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
September 10th. Mars hangs closer to the Earth than it has in 6,000 years. Like the light that led men from the East to a child in a manger, it could well be a sign of good things to come. Thomas James shall be his name. The world will change because of him. In the small town of Bethel, in a time not unlike our own, a child with a great purpose is born. Years later, alienated by his peers and abused, Thomas suffers a devastating loss. When it appears he has nothing left to live for in the world, this is when his true calling begins. While trying to escape the sinister powers that be, a terrifying vision haunts him. Miraculous events seem to follow the peculiar young man as he struggles to come to terms with what he was born to do. The stage is set. The time is at hand. The truth will rise and a revolution will begin. The startling revelation of who Thomas James is, truly, will change the lives of those around him and set off a chain of events long ago foretold. There is more to this novel than one might think. Inside these pages hides a treasure just waiting to be discovered. So if you've ever wondered if there's more to life, or why it is we suffer, then this story will not only captivate you, it may just open your eyes to a truth that could set you free. Find out what is in us all that makes us heed the calling.